Well, hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marlaina, the Pottery Lady, and I have been going through a hard time lately because I got 11 stitches in my hand and I can't move my thumb at all, which kind of renders this hand useless. I can use my fingies, but I can't do my job, which is throwing, making pottery, making content, preparing for my residency, which is going to be next month. I'm super excited about it. But I basically just wanted to talk about things that have been helping me. Wait, how many things do I have? Hold on. It's going slowly, but it's going. 5, 6, 7. I wanted to share the 7 things that have been helping me get through a hard time and can hopefully help you get through whatever hard time you're going through as well. Look who wants to come in. Come in. Come in. Good boy. No matter if you're going through a mental challenge or a physical challenge, those can both feel like really big impairments. And a physical challenge can make it obvious that you're struggling, but a mental challenge can still make everyday things like making your breakfast, getting dressed, taking a shower feel very difficult, just like a physical challenge can make you feel. Let's start with number 1. Having an I can't mindset is so detrimental. Oh my gosh. I mean, when I first hurt my hand, I remember waking up in the morning thinking, I can't make my bed. That's way too painful. It's way too much effort. I can't take a shower. I can't get my hand wet. I can't throw. I can't open a jar of jelly for my breakfast. And I was just filled with all of these I can'ts. And that immediately sent me into a spiral of depression. I mean, surprise, surprise. What started to help me on that first day was asking a question. Instead of I can't, I said, how can I? How can I do this? How might this be possible? And that immediately started my brain coming up with solutions of, okay, well, you can use your fingers, you can use this hand, you can take 10 times longer, but you'll get it done. And then the ball started to roll, I made my bed, I figured out a way to get dressed, and yeah, it was harder, and yeah, it took longer, but it completely changed my mindset of what I could do, which therefore changed my entire day and of course the following weeks. Going along with that, if you try to make what you're doing a game or a challenge, it can make it so fun. How many things can I do with one hand today? How many things can I do with 3 fingers today? How long or fast can I take to do a certain task? How many tasks can I do within an hour? Start to make it a game, and then it can kind of be a purposeful challenge instead of feeling like your whole life is a challenge, but making it a game challenge. Like, let's say you're feeling really sad and depressed. By the way, I have been in that spot, trust me, and it's very easy to fall into it, so I understand. How many things can I make and force myself to do today at a snail's pace? It's okay if it's slow, but how many things can you force yourself to do? Can you go and step in the gym? Can you take a shower? Can you force yourself to brush your hair grudgingly? It's kind of like a game. Yeah, I did 3 things really grudgingly today. Good for you. That was the whole game. That's the point. And that just helps get the ball rolling. Do what you can. And this kind of relates to the first one because once you ask yourself, what can I do and how might it be possible? Then you start to come up with solutions. An example of do what I can in the midst of this is my cat. I did a left-handed throwing challenge. I would have normally never did a left-handed throwing challenge. By the way, it's on my Instagram if you'd like to see it. I'll put it right there. But when I asked myself, okay, I still want to create content. I know I can't create my usual content as the Pottery Lady, and I feel like I can't do pottery. But if I kept telling myself that I couldn't do pottery, I would have never done pottery. Instead of, how can I do it? What is possible? I can use my left hand. Let's do a left-handed throwing challenge. It's small, but it matters, and it totally changed my perspective on what I could do and what I was still capable of. I'm sure that you can ask yourself how you can apply this in your own life. Perhaps an example would be, I don't know, if you can't run, can you walk? If you can't go to the gym, can you go outside? If you're really having a hard time mentally and you feel like you can't socialize, can you talk to yourself? Can you talk to your mom? Can you talk to your family? If you feel like you can't be in social situations, can you go on a walk where you pass people in public? Can that help you take a tiny step? Ask yourself, instead of, I don't know what I can do, just ask yourself, what can I do? Put it into perspective. And it's really, Riley, what are you doing? It's really not that bad when, of course, I put it into perspective. And that is important for you to do, not for you to say to other people and not for other people to say to you, but it's important for you to say to yourself, I am very grateful that this wasn't worse. I'm so grateful that I didn't cut through my tendon. I'm so grateful that I'm not in a worse place where I have a family that does support me and that does love me. And there are things in your life that I know are still a blessing to you and that you can still be grateful for. And it's very important to recognize those good things, be grateful for them. There are so many blessings still in your life, even when you're going through a really hard time, even when things are tough mentally, even when you're going through a horrible challenge. Even when you feel like, why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? And why did this happen now? All of those are valid questions, and you can have empathy for yourself. But have the perspective, zoom out. You still got a good life. There are still things to be grateful for. Try to focus on them. Try to find them. Number 3, 4, don't ask me to number things because I'm not going to remember them. Have you ever heard of the boy and the horse story? The boy and the horse story is a boy gets a horse and everyone's like, woo, that's great, he got a horse, everybody wants a horse, woo! And then the boy falls off the horse and he breaks his leg and everyone's like, oh man, that's horrible, why did he ever get the horse? He should have never got the horse. And then the war comes to recruit people for the war, and this is a hypothetical story, by the way, and then they don't take the boy because he has a broken leg, and everyone's like, woo, it's actually great that he got a horse and then he broke his leg because now he doesn't have to go and die in the war. Basically, that story represents that nothing is inherently a good or a bad event. It is just what we assume that it is. Whatever we assume something is, then it makes it so to us. But we don't know the full picture. We don't know down the line. We don't know why things happen, what the reason is, what we're going to learn for it, or the true repercussions of it. That being said, to kind of withhold judgment for a situation, a challenge, a horrible thing that happens, reserve as much as you can your spiral of negative emotions about it, because those will just continue to spiral and kind of just make the situation worse for you, instead of helping you see kind of what you can learn from it, the good in it, being grateful for it. Number something. Going through hard things helps you help other people in the future go through something similar. A lot of the times when I think about the even this applies to even the things I never was like, nothing good can come from this. There was this, which is my future daughter or my future son is going to go through something hard. They're going to go through many challenges and many difficulties. And maybe it's going to be one like this one. And if I never went through this, or if I never went through that challenge or struggle, that mental health issue, or going through depression, or losing a loved one, I'm not going to be equipped to help them go through that. What we're doing in our lives, we're planting a fruit tree so that the next generation can pick the fruit from it. And if we're not planting our trees inside of us, of strength and resilience and growing those roots, they're not going to be able to have the fruits of our healthy mindsets to help them through those same struggles. So if you can't do it for you, Do it for them. Now, it is important to take it easy and not push yourself too hard, right? You have to take care of yourself. But the obstacle, the challenge, the thing that you're avoiding, the issue is the way. That is the path. And oftentimes, literally every time, you cannot tell where your path is going. You can't see the curves in the road. But as you walk on the way appears. You can't avoid the challenge because the obstacle is the way. And I know that's also probably maybe the discouraging thing to hear, like when you feel like you cannot get out of bed and you just hear well, the obstacle is the way, this challenge is where you must walk, this is what you must go through. You're gonna probably feel resentment at first, I don't really want to do that. But when you know that there is no other way, you have to take steps. You have to take the step forward. And something that my mom used to say that really helps is, when you're going through hell, don't stop. Keep walking. The obstacle is the way. This is something little and something kind of helpful, but you don't have to change your whole entire mindset in order to make your life better. You don't have to say you're amazing, you can do it, you're doing so well, you're so healthy, you're so perfect, you're so, overly positive is just not realistic. But you can be less negative. You can catch yourself when you're saying you can't do it. You can catch yourself when you are talking negatively yourself, and you can just cut it off. Just be quiet. Silence is better than negativity. Which leads me to, I think, my last point, which is be kind to yourself. It's not a fun place to be in your head when you're not kind to yourself. Make your mind a good place to be. Make your life a good place to be. Have some empathy for yourself, just like you would your mom or your best friend or a family member or just a random person on the street. When they're going through a tough time, I know that I'm way more empathetic towards them than I am towards myself. And why do we do that? Why are we more harsh on ourselves? Probably for some good reasons, honestly, having high expectations for ourselves and pushing ourselves. All of those things are good. You can't just lay around and call it self-care. Because truly having self-care, truly loving yourself, it's doing the things that do your future self a favor, right? Buying whatever you want every time you see it in the store, is that self-care? Or are you making your financial freedom for your future self harder in the future? Is not working and procrastinating and not doing the things that you told yourself that you were gonna do, is that self-care? Or is it making it harder on yourself in the future to trust and rely on yourself? And that's what I really mean about self-care. Take it easy on yourself. Let me know, maybe if you have a helpful tip that's helping you go through a hard time, please let me know, because it's gonna help me out and it's gonna help someone else out. It's always good to share, even if you feel like no one's listening. I think in the spirit of doing what I can and asking myself what might be possible and keeping a good perspective that it could be worse, I'm going to film my rest of the daily activities today. You will see me struggle making breakfast, struggle cracking an egg with one hand, struggle getting dressed, struggle with doing things with one hand, and we're going to do what we can. You want to know just more great, amazing things that have been happening? The kiln broke. And as you might be able to surmise, a working kiln is extremely important for production and everything that's coming up. And, you know, I feel like I can't fix it all by myself. We have been working on it for like 3 or 4 days, and another problem after another problem kept coming up with it. And I just have been honestly super frustrated, and I did get really down because it felt like one thing after another kept going wrong, and I feel helpless in solving it. So I guess I just wanted to be honest and vulnerable to share this, even though I didn't really want to remind you to do what you can, keep taking one little tiny step at a time, and also to ask for help. It's okay that you ask for help, and oftentimes the people who love you in your life do want to help you. Like my mom, she makes me feel like even horrible moments can be laughable and they can be light again. She's actually holding the camera right now, and she did help me fix my kiln. Hopefully, if you can hear that clicking. Yeah, you hear that clicking? That sound, that's a healthy kiln going, I'm healthy. I'm working. Hopefully. Cross your fingers. So, reminder, do what you can. Ask for help. People love you. Do what you can. I'm telling you, this actually has been very helpful for me to do this video and kind of film what I am doing and how I'm doing it today, because it's been a tough one. The kiln kept breaking. Like, they're just, as much as I tried to fix it, and after I asked for help from people, it just kept breaking. And I was just like, I feel like I can't do it by myself, and I feel like such a nuisance, and I don't know what's going wrong. There's a lot of little things that can happen with the connections. I think we got it fixed. The studio right now is a mess. It's the absolute mess, just because I haven't been able to, you know, pick up like a heavy bag of clay. I haven't been able to wedge my reclaim. There's just things everywhere, and with the spirit of kind of, you know, being vulnerable and open and honest about everything, like, this isn't pretty, the studio isn't pretty. I'm gonna show you what the studio looks like right now, and again, in the spirit of how can I do what I need to do and what can I do, we're gonna clean up a little bit. So here is the before. All right, are you ready for this? Jeez. Bag full of sawdust, leaves all over the floor, basket of wires in my little apron, and little rags. This is for packing up my stuff. You got a dirty wheel, dirty bats. Those have to be packed up too. Look at this. We got our reclaim. What? Why is there a piece of paper in the reclaim? Dude, this is stuff that is staying under the bag, so hopefully it'll stay wet so that I can keep working on it. You know, we can do that, right? We can do that. We can straighten up. You can do things with one hand. You can do things when you're sad. Let's clean. It's going slowly, but it's going. Believe it or not, but it is better. I wanted to share this beautiful baby. Look at how the clay mixes on this. This is just a mix of 2 different clays thrown, and it was you know, just 2 different clays on top of each other. It stayed pretty wet underneath the bag for, it's been a week and a half, and so I'm gonna cover it up more. I'll get to trimming her in a little bit, but so pretty. So all of these pieces were just left hanging, you know, because I can't trim or finish them at the moment. So let's spritz them up and cover them so that they can wait a little longer. Sometimes, just to make sure that the corners are down, I'll just put a towel over it. And those will stay for until I can comfortably trim, but, you know, prepping them and making sure that they're ready to go when I am and that the studio is ready to go when I am is definitely something that I can do. And it actually is making me feel better already. The next step is hopefully we can do some inventory, so just some wrapping and packing. And I'm gonna ask for help from my mom from that. She is such an amazing help when I need it. And honestly, so are you guys, because accountability, am I right? I'm excited. I'm feeling a little better that we're making some progress. Doing what you can is probably my favorite one because it's just so simple and direct, and it helps me get moving. All right, everybody, we took a break. I ate some dinner. I still have a headache, but we want to finish strong and get some inventory done. It's okay if I don't do all of it. Little steps does help get the ball rolling. It doesn't matter if it's perfect or if it all gets done. It just matters that I didn't lie to myself, you know, and I said I was going to do inventory, so we're going to do some inventory. Honestly, one of the biggest questions that I've had is what's the best type of box to have inventory in? I have various size boxes, some flat, some short, some long, some tall. I don't know what is the best. I feel like cardboard boxes would be nice to collapse, but then you don't have handles to pick them up with. So I don't know. I think that plastic ones would be better, and then I don't know if bubble wrap or paper is better. Honestly, I've just been using what I have. The weird thing about scissors is that I don't know if you've ever tried to cut them with your left hand, but they won't cut. I wanted to end this video by saying that I am exhausted. I am so much more exhausted than I normally would be. And I think just because, you know, when you feel a little bit off, when you feel a little bit different, when you don't feel as capable as you normally do, for whatever thing that you're going through, things are gonna seem a little bit harder. But the fact that I know I'm ending today knowing that I could not have given 1% more, and sometimes those percentages vary, obviously, but I know that I did what I can. And I think that, you know, saying it and doing it are two completely different things. Action always trumps just talking and reading about something. I love the quote, "You can't learn how to swim by reading about water." I know that doesn't really apply to what we're talking about, but it kind of applies to the importance of action. You can't just prep your whole life for something to happen, you know? Anyways, I'm tired, and I just wanted to say that I am here with you. If you're going through a hard time, keep going. I hope these little things that have been helping me helped you, and I also hope that maybe seeing me try, you know, with whatever I'm doing, perhaps showed you that I'm exhausted from seemingly normal, should be normal stuff. I couldn't go to the gym today, so I did go on a walk with my mom, and that was so nice and a little, you know, pivot. And I hope that if you can't do what you want to do, maybe you can do like a portion of it or something that can still get you moving. Please remember that art is so important, and so are you, no matter what stage of life you're going through. Have a good week, my loves, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.